What's up, guys? It's Mad Dog EDC here. I didn't think I was going to have a chance to do this, but I've got a little bit of time before the family arrives. My chili is sitting on the smoker right now, finishing up, so got a little bit of time, so let's do this. First impressions between the Surge and the Leatherman Arch. Y'all know I'm all about that Leatherman Surge. Surge is king. I've got my special Surge with me right here. I love it. It's well broken in. I've got the Mutt EOD plier head with the crimpers. I use those sometimes in irrigation and crimping wires. Then I've got the EOD cutters on them, so I don't have to worry about that hard wire cutter snagging or anything like that. It's just right in and snip. I can go up to a 9-wire irrigation wire and right through it with one bite. Done. So super. I've had the handles Cerakoted, and of course you see it's got the Wisconsin Forge Damascus blade on that side. And y'all know I don't like the neighbor's having a bit of fun. I'll be joining him later on, but you can see I don't have the combo blade. I don't like serration, so I just went ahead and had that other blade set on there. You know, scissors, of course. And then I always carry the file in there, and I have other blades if I need them. So that's what's up right there with that. But now, here we go with the Leatherman Arch. We're still getting there. Still getting broke in. Regular cutters in there. It's got the hardwire notch in there like I was talking about earlier. Might have to do something about that. See if I can't get some EOD cutters for it or something. But it's a decent tool. You know, we've got a lot of the same tools on it on the outside. We've got that MagnaCut blade now, though, so that's an improvement. The free scissors, while they're not as good as a Surge, they're a whole lot better than a Wave or a Charge. You got a dedicated file, perhaps the sharpest file I've seen on a Leatherman to date. And then you have a pretty wicked saw there. I've been using this exclusively over the last week since I've got it. Came in on I started using it on the 17th as they were released, and it's held up pretty well. It's done pretty much everything I've asked it to do. Now, you know, there is some capability that the Surge has that this doesn't have, and we'll get into that later. But yeah, most of what I do with a Leatherman can be done with something this size. And to be quite honest, my Gerber MP600 bladeless will do everything this does. I mean, and it has a blade changer on it. It's got the U-shank blade changer on it instead of a T-shank, but it does the job really well. So what I've been doing is I've been carrying this with the pocket clip in my right front pocket. My pocket knife is swapped over to the left so that when I pull this out here, I can go straight for the MagnaCut blade because I want to test it. Now this blade, yeah, it's dull. It's dull, and it came dull. I mean, I've had gas station knives that were sharper than this thing came. That is a nice straight good bevel on that right there, and then you swap over here and it's like twice the size. So we're not very even on our bevels. That's part of the problem. I haven't put it on a stone yet because I'm waiting to wear it out. I want to see how long it's going to last with what it did have. It did not cut through my 1/2-inch poly pipe. I had to pull the old ProTech out and get after it with that. And then of course the Tyrant with the razor blades, of course they're Milwaukee blades in there, of course that cut through it nice and easy. But so the MagnaCut blade on the Art kind of failed, but again, that's due to the edge. I know once I put an edge on it, that sucker's going to cut right through it, especially being as thin as it is. It's cut string, it's cut rope, it's cut into packages. I've done quite a few things with it here. Let's get into the inside tools here. Some things I noticed about it. Everyone complained with the Free series about there being too many flat drivers. And I was really one of those people that was like, it's ridiculous. I don't need 6 flat drivers in a tool. Like, what are they doing, you know? So this is all you got on the inside now. You got your medium there, you have your micro bit, you have the awl, you have this can opener, which this is also a bottle opener right here. And then you have your bit adapter, which is different than any of the others. It's a little bit bigger. Let's see if I can do this here where I can swap it around. You can kind of see the differences on there. The lock on here seems to be a little bit tougher, a little bit better, so I do appreciate that. One thing that bugged me to no end when I got this, of course you got your little wire stripper nick right there. Do you notice anything missing? Let me show you a real one. What's missing? Yeah, the hole. This is not even an awl now. It's just a little super pokey stabby thingy. Now I don't use the awl for this full intent all the time, but I do enjoy having it. I do like it. It's nice for repairs. I've used it for repairing tarps before. I've used it for, you know, repairing different things, and I've even used it to fix my boot laces in the field. Like, I've stuck it through, got my cord through there and pulled it through. You know, so the hole in the awl is nice to have. So I'm really disappointed to see that they cut that out. They said, oh, it made it stronger. Most people don't use it anyway for that. So I get that, I understand that, but I'm very disappointed that they took the hole out of the awl. So now, most of the time, I don't need a micro driver. I know a lot of people do with glasses and such like that, and that's good and that's okay. I mean, everyone's mileage is going to vary when it comes to these tools, but I would have liked to have seen, I know this sounds bad because I was one of the people that said there's too many flat drivers on it, but I would like to have seen a wide flat and then a smaller flat there, which you do have that in the bit driver, because you can take this bit out, flip it around there, and you have a little bit smaller one. And of course, when you got the bit card that comes with it, you do have some smaller flats in there. So those are kind of provided in that way. I use the small driver on my Surge for adjusting sprinkler heads. If you've been on Facebook and seen any of my posts, you've seen the awl sticking out of the top of a sprinkler head. I use the small driver for that because most of them, or especially the Rainbird variety, works off of this small driver, or this small flat right here, for your nozzle adjustment and even your arc adjustment. So I do use that. So I was kind of disappointed that it wasn't included on that, because, you know, while the bit driver is nice, a dedicated one is better in that circumstance, because as you stick it down through that rubber cap on the top of the sprinkler head and you go to pull your bit out, it leaves the bit behind. So it is nice to have a dedicated one. I do have the dedicated tool that rides on my hip here in my Trailblazer from Skinth. So, you know, I could pull that out, but a lot of times I'm using my multi-tool. Scissors, I've used my scissors for packaging, for plastic, and then my son used it today to cut through some Surveyor string, and it cut through about 4 pieces of Surveyor string. I mean, his little 5-year-old hands, just one clip and 4 pieces done. So they're super sharp. They work really well. He was able to get his hands around them good. So that I have not used the hammer function on it yet. Now, when I am done with all my testing on the tool, I do plan to take the pocket clip off. I don't really like the pocket clip on it, because when I pull it in, I don't like that, and I don't like it there either. I don't like things interfering with my grip. I think that's kind of stupid. They should have. It would be a lot better if it could be flipped around to the bottom end, but you can't do that, because then you wouldn't be able to get to your other tools. So I understand why it's at the top that way. It does, when I pull it out of my pocket, it is nice on that side, because when I pull it out, that's right there at the blade. So, and I can swap over to this hand, and then I've got my thumb where I can just pop out my scissors, my 2 most used tools right there, done. But I'm not really impressed with the way the pocket clip is. I don't really like that. So if I continue to carry this, it's just going to be in a sheath on the belt, and that's going to be the way it is for me there. So The magnets, of course, it's gimmicky. It's fun to just flip around and everything, but you know, I'm not very good at a balisong or anything like that. So now, one thing I will say with the Surge here is that it is super intuitive and easy to just grab that notch right there, but of course on this backside here with this, to just flip it right out. Your thumb actually maintains around the pivot right here. Now with the Free Series, your thumb is not at the pivot and around the pivot. You start way down here and you have to go up with it. I've never liked the way the Free Series thumb tabs and thumb axis and everything seems to be about a third of the way down the tool. I've never liked that. It's not ergonomic in the least. My thumb typically tends to come off of it. I end up having to reposition my hand on the tool to be able to get it out. I do have a little bit larger hands, so somebody with smaller hands probably not going to have that problem where they can choke up to the top of the tool, bring their thumb down and go up with it. It's just not comfortable. It's not natural for my hands to be able to do that. So I'm not impressed with that feature at all. It is a lot better with the thumb slot in the other tools than with the handy dandy little thumb tab there. But the Surge is just, it's a lot better. Now, as far as the handles go, I'm always going to grip the handles down here. You know, I'm always going to have the bottom of my tool down there where I can get full maximum grip. I'm never choking up on them. I'm never getting up in here where I can get pinched up in this area here or something. I'm always down here, and that's why I love these Surge handles, because you can get your hands around them and you can really do some work with it. Now when it comes to the Free Series, it's just not there. You know, I'm coming way down here to be able to get good on it and get some good grip to it, and you know, they're down in there. So sometimes those lock tabs right there and everything, just they create some hot spots. It's not as comfortable as using the Surge. Surge is a whole lot better in that regard. Now this, yes, there is some flex to it. I'll try to do it like this where you can see it. There is some flex to the handles, but not like that. And this, let's see if I can do it where you can see it in the camera here. See how loose that is? I'm not getting that type of end play out of the Surge. It's just not happening. I'm putting so much force on it here, I'm gonna end up twisting my hands. Whereas if I put that same amount of force here, look at that, look at that. And then the other thing I'm not liking is that when I squeeze in on it, that feels like a Harbor Freight pair of pliers. I'm sorry guys, but it's not Knipex quality where you're grabbing onto something and your whole plier is twisting. Look at that handle, look at that handle. Watch it rotate this way as I squeeze on that. You see that? I'm sorry guys, but that's not strong. That's not tough. Let's do it on this one here. You get a little bit of that movement there, but it's nowhere near as exaggerated as the Arc is. So there's just a couple things that I really wasn't too happy with about it. So, but overall, that's my review of the Leatherman Arc. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you got any questions, drop a comment down below. And yeah, Mad Dog out.